10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. This is episode number 134, and we are going to pick it up from last week, where we continue to rank all the mythical champions. This week, we'll be working on the Corrupted Alliance and the NYRESAN. Now, before we get too far, I do want to talk about a couple of things, and I know some of these things may be controversial for some people, but I want to give it a little bit of time. But before we jump to that part, because I know some of my co-hosts may have something to say, let me introduce my co-host for today's podcast. In the top little red box, we've got our free-to-play content creators, Mr. Final Compachi. Ken, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. Summer is finally coming, so it makes me happy. Actually, I am a summer boy, so good to be there with the podcast with you guys. So together, cannot wait to rate more mythical champion together.
Awesome. In the top white box, representing our Dab Master dads, Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What up? We are doing just fine. Busy. Life is busy. That's about all I got. Life is way busy.
I hear that. I'm just started coaching my son's soccer team, and now the director asked me to start coaching my daughter's soccer team. So now I've just doubled practices, games. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, not fun. Next up, our five-headed thinker, Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty much finished almost all the events, waiting for a player to put more. For once, I finally have time to play a lot of Raid on the side because I'm unemployed. But I do have an interview tomorrow working for an finance and insurance company. Also, I did a lot of live arena lately, and I'm noticing, of course, 9-piece Mercurial being more in the meta. But I'm excited to talk about the Mythicals.
9-piece Mercurial is an absolute just delete from Arena. Next up, our favorite late night content creator, streamer, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, just chilling, hanging out, doing a little bit of the events. I do have a 5-star soul for Embris, so we're kind of chillaxing on that one, so we can kind of take it easy for a little bit. And yeah, ready for what's up coming in Raid. There should be some good stuff in the future, and ready to talk about Raid with you guys on the podcast. Should be a good one.
Awesome. And last but not least, the guy that stole my Solinar from our last fight, Mr. Gestel Gaming. Gestel, what's up, bro?
I think I recognized the name because I knew that was you right away. I'm like, I'm scooping that Solinar right up.
Doing great. Damn it.
Doing it's out of the season in live arena. I call it the Wild Wild West. You never know who you're gonna face, man. You face those 4,000s, you face those 80,000s. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing, man. I kind of like it. You know, you get to see what people are running. People are testing new things out. So having some fun, man. I made some changes to some of my champs and you know, testing those builds out. So get ready for the new season, man. Getting ready.
Awesome. All right, let's touch up real quick on a couple of events going on in game, because I think some of these are worth it for a lot of us. The Titan event for the Embris Soul. Now, the one thing that really popped out here is they're giving us fusion tokens now as rewards. First of all, just give me a quick synopsis of what you think. Was this event good or bad? Are you going for it, chat? Are you not? And then what your thought is on the fusion token soul. Is that a good reward for you to chase? Let's start off with Final Compachi first.
I mean, I'm going for the 5-star Embris. You was asking for entire Titan or the just fusion token?
Yeah, both.
Okay, I'm going for the 5-star Embris. I think it is a little bit outdated, but man, like, believe or not, but I never pulled the Embris soul, so my Embris is like this 0 star.
Naked.
So, yeah, actually naked, because you cannot really use the like champion in the high end game arena without having a blessing on them.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess like I just want to use them. That's why I'm still trying to get the 5-star Embris. So I really don't care about the fusion token. I just looked my fusion stuff the other day. The only champion I'm missing actually on the tier 1, the highest one, is the Vix wheel. So maybe I can do like Titus comp. So that's pretty much it.
So did you go? Do you already have 2 for the fusion tokens? So would this one be your 3rd?
That's correct.
So the next one, I guarantee you guys, for the people that went out for these fusions, the next fusion you think, oh, I'm gonna get my Titus, or oh, I'm gonna get my Wixwell. But I guarantee that the next fusion is gonna be a 100% must-have. Watch it be something like a new level, or just even Titus 2.0 type of fusion, and you're gonna be like, damn, I can't skip this. Gesto, what about you? Are you going for the Embris Soul? And what are your thoughts on the fusion token?
Yeah, I'm going for both. It's obviously you get the token along the way, but the Embry Soul is important to me. He's like maybe my 4th or 5th pick right now as a damage dealer. His second form A1 is disgustingly strong. Because it's block revive, and if you got the purple stuff out there, it's a double hit, which is super strong too. So I like him. If I have him a 3-star right now, so to get him a 5-star, I think is good. Just the crit damage alone is good. So I'll take that. The fusion token. Now I have all the fusions. I've just because I'm whatever. I've done all the fusions along. I have like 2 blank, and they're the fragments I haven't pulled yet. But what's really good about them, actually, for my account and maybe for later game accounts in similar situation, is you can get Cantra for 1, and that empowers Raphael, who is very strong. +4 Raphael, crazy strong. And the other one, if you got Predator, Pythion, which is much more expensive, but Pythion empowers Predator. And you can use all those tokens to empower those 2 champs. So for late game accounts, I actually think those things are pretty strong. Until you run out of things to empower, then who gives them?
Right.
Yeah, for right now,
that's
man,
also assuming
Predator
that you haven't
is
pulled them, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you
well,
feed
no,
them. You
no, you
power
feed
them.
them, and then it opens it back up.
Yeah.
So then you can pull them. You can
What?
use them in the token. I just did it with Cantra.
You empower. If you
If you don't have the champ on your account, it's available in your group. I know you can't pull it up here, but it'll be available in your token.
So yeah. So if you get Cantra, and then you can't do it, right, because you have her. But then if you empower, then it's off your account, and then the game doesn't realize. So then you're allowed to fuse her again.
You know they're gonna patch that now.
No, they know it. They already know it.
They
It's
already
a
know,
thing.
and they said
It's been a
okay.
thing. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, Pythion's expensive, so it's gonna be tough to do it for Predator. But
mean-
that's what I'm doing next, bro.
Well, I mean,
Empower that Predator, man.
I already got Cantra and Python, so I'm just like, As a matter of fact, I just pulled another Draco, so I just +2'd my Donnie, so I was like, okay, that's cool.
I have a +4 Draco. Can I petition Plarium to allow us to
Empower.
empower champs? I'm throwing 5 Dracos into Donnie. Is that okay? Can I get that empowered to +4? I think that's fair.
I don't know if they'll I want to feed a +3 Cantra. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah.
PJ, what about you? Are you going for the event? What are your thoughts on the fusion token?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I have a 5 stars for him, so I'm not gonna go for the whole thing. I was thinking maybe get the 5-star and to sell it, but you only get, I thought it was 1,000, but you only get 700 coins, so you get less than a eternal, so I thought it was not worth it. Even if for 1,000, I didn't think it was really worth it, but for 700, I definitely didn't think it was worth it. But overall, I think it's good. He's definitely a little bit out of meta, you can say, but he's still really strong, right? And everyone's gonna get him eventually, so it's still, I would say, a good soul to have. If you have a 3-star or less, I think it's worth getting the 5-star. If you have a 4-star, I'd probably not get it. It's actually kind of hurting him with the extra accuracy in the second form because he wanted to have low accuracy. So if you have the 4-star, I wouldn't go for it. But anything less than that, I would go for it. The fusion token, I really like it. Hopefully this is something they'll do in the future. Someone in my chat said, is this just for the community event because it's like a community week or event? I was like, I hope not. Like maybe. But I'm thinking hopefully they'll do this in the future because these are like fusions. These are almost tougher than
Right.
fusions because they're in a shorter time period than a fusion. So you have to use more resources, you have to use more gems, you have to like spend more stuff because it's shorter time. So I'm very happy that they see these as difficult as a fusion and they're giving us fusion tokens. For late game endgame players, maybe it's not the most exciting thing, but you got to think of other people too. It's not just late game endgame players, and there's tons of people that need a lot of tier 3 champions or tier 2 champions. So the faster they can stack these up and get them, I think it's great. I'm very happy with it, and hopefully they'll do more in the future.
Okay. Zero, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think this is absolutely amazing, and especially because how souls are provided to you. You can't like wish list a mythical. You can't buy a mythical from the shop, and you give everybody this free champion, and he's this mega beast. But again, I've said this a million times, and I still hold true to it. If you don't have a 4-star for a nuker and you don't get that extra crit damage, like you're might as well not even use the champion when you have other equally as good heavy nukers that do have at least that 4-star soul. And so I haven't really used Embris, and it's like you want to use Embris to block other people from using him in live arena as well. But then it's like, okay, well, I have a 1-star awakened Embris. Like, do I really want to pick that over, you know, a big nuking Sig friend or something like that? So anyway, all that being said, yeah, I'm definitely going for the 5-star. I know that actually does hurt him from that perspective. However, getting to that 5th-star level, the benefits outweigh the bad with what you put on there. Like you do like a 5-star lightning cage or something like that on him. So yeah, definitely going for them. And yeah, they absolutely need to do this 100%. You know, that's another beat that I've always had is sometimes they'll do a fusion and follow it up with the soul, which they are doing with the hero's path for this champion, which is great. And then every now and then they won't give it to us, that Ishiyama dude, and or they'll do the thing where it's like, hey, 1 out of 100 can get his 4 or 5-star soul or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's great. He's an HP based nuker, and I can't pump up his HP to get more damage out of him. So I absolutely need that crit damage. You're not going to give the soul for him. So I think they absolutely need to do this and do this more often. So I'm all for it.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, I think this is an amazing event. It does suck that they stacked everything together, so it's hard because a lot of people are like, "Dang, this hero's path is not easy." Plus the anomaly, right? But if you're able to, invest a little, or at least if you saved and were being patient, this is amazing because it's the same thing what happened with Fabian, right? It was like, oh, we got the fusion, then you're able to get the soul for it, and this is important because everyone can get Embris for free, even like people who are just starting Chimera. So it is very important to finish this Titan event, and the fact that they did not stopping at like a 3, they're going all the way to the 5, which is really really good. Overall for me, I'm enjoying it. I'm already on milestone 4, so I'm almost done. So I'm pretty happy, and I think yeah, even though the increased accuracy is annoying, I might actually change Embris's build because for me personally, I've been going more on the increased res side, and as you can see now that we have Mavara, she works really well with Predator, and increased res is slowly becoming a thing unless you're fighting like Sir Nick and Lady Noelle. So that's the only time like you're really like screwed, or maybe like a Siffy's A1, but there's not everyone's using unresistible stuff, so increased res is good. I think Mavara is a very strong champion that's going to help out for Faction Wars. And at the same time, Embris, if you're not going for Mavara, Embris is insane as well. Now, we'll say this. Same thing will happen with Fabian, right? People are like, oh, it's not going to be good. Why would I use that? I have Warlord. Look what happened, right? Fabian went crazy and changed the meta. So when you see that 5-star, don't be surprised if you see people first picking Embris more often now, right? To block revive a Solinar or something else. You're going to see a lot more Embrises. They're already in Live Arena, but you're just going to see a lot more, maybe lower end players or mid-late players seeing basically everywhere, just like Marius, right? So that's the only thing when the whole community gets it. It's a great thing for the community, but I'm just telling you, you're going to see it a lot more. He's going to be a lot more annoying. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I have a 5-star. I think it's great for the community to be able to get it. He is a very powerful champion and can also solo Sand Devils stage 25 with some food champs in there as well. So you can build him for that and kind of have more have a build both for PvE and PvP. as for the fusion token, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I feel like for myself, it's not worth it because just like Gessel, I've gone for every single fusion. So using it to get, one of those champs isn't really beneficial for me. So not to say that it's not beneficial for everybody else out there. There's a lot of accounts like Ken who next fusion can get himself a Wixwell, right? And skip whoever that might be. But I have a feeling that Plarium's fusions going forward may not be as, I want to skip this type of fusion. I may be wrong. But we'll have to wait and see. There is something that I do want to address real quick. I know a lot of you have asked, and I've gotten in DMs like, hey, when are you guys going to talk about the elephant in the room? I know everybody wants us to discuss and wants our thoughts on what is currently happening in Live Arena. The thing is, it's not that I don't think it deserves the time, but I want to see where Plarium and how Plarium is going to respond to this, because if they just let it go, then what's the purpose of talking about it, right? I feel like until they come out with the fix and say, yeah, guys, look, we acknowledge that this happened. We acknowledge that this is our fault. It's not really, what are we going to do? We're going to sit here and, let's be honest, just bitch more about what things they're not doing. And that's not what I want to do. I want us to be constructive. I want us to have a conversation that is beneficial for the community, right? That is beneficial for learning and beneficial to make the game better. So I have held off. I know I've seen a lot of videos and I've gotten requests to talk about this, but I've kind of held off and said, you know what? I want to see what Plarium is going to say before I start going off on them, because then I want to be able to be in 100% the right, saying that, you know what? Fuck you. You did it wrong. That said, do I condone this? No, I don't think anybody here condones this. But we are going to be discussing this, not today though, but sometime very, very soon. I'm just waiting to see the response. They haven't said anything. So I know that is something that everybody wants to discuss. Back to, let's talk mythical champions, man. We finished up last week on the Telerian League and the Galen Impact, and there's a lot of mythical champions. There are a lot of really good ones. And then this week, we're going to be talking about the Corrupted Alliance and the Norwegian Union. Now, this one actually has Embris in it, so I can't wait to talk about him and see. We basically already did. But we've got a few mythical champions in the Demon Spawn. I think this is the only faction that has 3, if I'm not mistaken. No other faction has 3 mythicals. Am I correct in assuming that?
No, not Sylvan Watcher.
Sylvan Watchers, yes. Sylvan Watchers has 3. So, okay. So this faction, or this side, has a lot more. But let's start off with Cometus. Cometus came out hot and heavy. First HP nuker, or HP bomber, that was a really solid support, being able to lock out champions. When he was first released, it was all about having him, all about going fast. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a particular content creator here that has almost a 400 speed Cometus and says, yeah, he's going to go before my turn meter boosters. That said, how would you guys rank Cometus in the current meta? Is he still one of your most valuable champions? Where do you use him more? Is it PvE or PvP? Chat, where do you have Cometus, first of all? Let's start off with Gestel first.
Yeah, obviously with Mercurial, he's not as broken as he used to be. Bombs that detonated as soon as they landed, essentially, as long as you had more HP, you were going to win the fight pretty much instantly. Yeah, I do have a very fast Cometus, not quite 400, but if someone takes the speed boost out, he's still got a chance at winning. Still pretty high AC. The way I run him now, actually kind of still bring him in a little bit, kind of like, people aren't as afraid of him with Mercurial, but he still does work in the first form. And if you can get, even just with the AoE, and was it his A2, I think, or his A3?
Block active skills.
Yeah, the block active, the A2. If you can get that out, that's at least not going to stock a stack of Mercurial off a couple. And if you get a lock active, on one or two people, especially damage dealers or mythicals that are trying to swap. Like that is so strong. Then you just wait an extra turn, big deal. Wait an extra turn to swap over and throw the bombs. So he's not what he used to be. He's not like an instant kill. Like I don't run him anymore in my classic arena with like Arbus and into him, and like that's the end of the fight because everyone's a Mercurial, so it just doesn't work out as well as it used to. But he's still valuable and he's still scary. Depending, like he's a good like I like to bring him in when I have Solinar. Kind of like, oh, you got to choose one of the like lesser of two evils here, kind of thing. Obviously based on what I'm facing, but I love him. I still love him. He's not the monster he was, but he's still great. He's definitely still great.
I was really excited when the rod from what was it?
Spore
Twin
burst.
Force, yeah, that came out. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Spore burst, yeah. Ken, what about you?
In the current meta, I think he's trash, man. I'm gonna be honest, to be honest. Like he's going to do nothing. Like his like entire purpose, like beginning of the game, just bomb them, kill the enemies. He cannot really like sustain, like he's not like nuker. He's just bombing them, right? His damage coming from the bomb, and if he cannot land the bomb, I don't know. His first form still like his like I believe block active skills debuff. Like maybe people can use it on that kind of scenario, but I don't know.
Bad.
To be honest.
Okay, I'm sorry. One thing I totally forgot. Bayek. He is awesome in the Bayek. So that's why I like to bring him into that because he ignores his stupid
call.
passive. That I
Good
forgot
call.
to bring that up. So that's the guy I like to bring him in to scare people with Bayek. Sorry, that's what I forgot.
Good call, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad. That's on me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say sorry about that, guys. Okay. PJ, what about you? What are your thoughts about Cometus in this current meta?
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, my baby, my baby. It's sad, very, very sad to see. Yeah, I have him. I have a 6-star blessing for him. He was one of my main nukers in live arena. Just with the meta now, just not nearly as good as he was. It really sucks to see. He's still good, like depending on who you're facing and stuff. And if you know that they're not in Mercurial, like yeah, he's amazing, and they're not in like Feral. But yeah, it's just tough because everyone's a Mercurial nowadays. I would love to get him into a 6-piece deflection set because then you can like A3 first in his second form to get the weaken to lower one of the stacks, and then hoping you're lowered some of the stacks already, so you could then go into the A2 to bomb. But it's just really hard to get deflection right now because it's either you have to again to plat or you have to craft it, which is really expensive. Hopefully they'll lower the cost of that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll come back around and re-see the light of day. But I don't know. At the moment, I feel like he got hurt a lot. He's not in a good spot, I don't think.
You know what? You can make him work again. You just need to stop being cheap and pull yourself a Sabrel. If you pull her, you're good. You can make him work again. So just go mortgage the house. Jay, what about you? What are your thoughts on Cometus in this current meta?
Calamitus, yeah, I mean, pretty much even if they have 9-piece Mercurial, I mean, he does have double hits, but it's not enough to get through. You'd either have to ally attack, you have to like bring a Marius first to increase accuracy because they might, like me or some other people, are using increased res. So even though Mythicals can ignore 20% res, you're not beating 50% increased res, right? So I haven't had trouble with Cometus at all ever since I got Joanne or Marvara. Like I just ignore them, even if they try to land a bomb. But in terms of just, let's say I have like a 9-piece Mercurial Hilvy or something like that, right? It doesn't work. It kind of like, he just becomes like, what are you going to do? Stay in the first form, try to like hit multiple times and then strip, right? He's not as crazy as he was in the beginning. Plus, there's not that many free like HP like bombers or defense bombers. It's all attack bombers. So like the main thing about him was that he was a juggernaut and he could also blow people up in Stone Skin easy. Or if they weren't Stone Skin, they still died. So yeah, he's good against like certain things like turtle, like full turtle defenses, Bayek, things like that. But in general, he's just fallen off. He's just not that good as he used to be.
All right. Zero, what about you? Do you have Cometus or
No, never got him. Yeah, and I do think it is interesting how Mercurial really change the meta on a lot of this stuff, right? So yeah, he is annoying with the lockout and stuff. And you really, when you fight him in faction wars, you really hope he doesn't switch to that bomb form when you're fighting him in faction wars. So don't forget he's in there too. But yeah, he's nasty. And again, I always try to pair like a Marishka with it. And of course, you know, if you're in live arena, people will ban your Marishka because her passive will kind of block his ability to do the bombs. But if I see him in other areas, I basically look at it from a how do I counter this dude? And I just pair Marishka and you're good to go.
Okay.
So
I'm curious, chat, do you guys think Cometus needs a buff? And if so, what kind of buff would you guys want to give him? Moving on to the next mythical for this faction, Krosa. Now, she was part of the Chaos Awakens. I mean, she came out and I think they did a slight rework on her, but I still have yet to see her in live arena. I don't know if she's worth even leveling, to be honest. I think I'd be really upset if I pulled her out of 200 primals. I'd be less upset pulling my dupe Froli out of 200 primals than I would pulling her. That said, have you guys gotten her? Would you suggest building her? And if so, where would you absolutely use her and what kind of a build? Let's start off with Ken first.
She's trash, man. I don't actually recommend people to build her unless you guys have like 6-star. Even the 6-star, I'm not sure she can do like, I don't know, anything noticeable. I strongly believe she's going to get a buff, and I strongly believe it's going to be soon and strong. But again, guys, it's just I guessing, nothing confirmed. Okay, don't get hype. I just guessing like that. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. So because lots of people have her, and yeah, man, it's not fun to have a mythical champion protecting your vault, you know.
Right. Vault Guardian 100%. Jay, what about you?
The problem with her is that like her first form is a sustained form, which is totally fine. But the thing is, the A3 doesn't put fortify on all the other allies. You could start stacking that. There's a lot of people who are bringing unkillable now. They're bringing like increased defense strength, and I went against an Androck where they made the Androck like 420, literally just go fast, put a whole bunch of buffs, and then the rest of the champions, he had one nuker, and then everyone was just putting protected buffs. So you had like protecting continuous heals, ally protection, strength, and literally every buff in the game. If they could give her that fortify on top of the unkillable to all allies, I think you would start seeing her a little bit more. But she's just kind of basically like a taunt tank, right? That puts unkillable on everybody else. Why not just use Sir Nick? He's just better. Gets the counterattack, right? So she does need a little bit of adjustment in the first form. In the second form, people weren't using her because honestly, like wands, sheep, she would just get cooked, you know, and that's why you don't see her at all. And I think if she had some adjustments to the meta that's happening in the game, like maybe having multiple hits or ignoring material or something like that, maybe you would see her more. But honestly, she's just a PvE champion for now. She's not bad. She does have sustain in the first form, healing people and cleansing, but overall, there's better PvP champions.
Right. Zero, what about you, Krosa? Someone you have, someone you want?
No, yeah, to everyone's point, that's what she does. I do think she does bring that. What's really cool is like when you have a buff heavy team, right? Like she'll cut in and mess you up. And at the beginning, I always forgot that, and she cut in and tore me up a few times, which is not so fun. But outside of that, I mean, she's kind of trash.
Okay. Gessel, what about you?
Yes, I pulled her same time I pulled Theodosia, and I totally forgot I pulled her because Theodosia. So I have her. She's 60. She is not even fully awakened. I just awakened her too because I had a 3-star soul and I wanted to slab on her before I selling it by accident or something. But yeah, I haven't even built her. Not booked. No masteries. Nothing. Haven't used her. So I don't have, I guess, really experience with her. I know that a rather large account has used her pretty successfully, but like I could never come close to getting the stats that were on it. and like a damage build, in the second form type thing. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. She needs a buff. I think she needs a buff.
Okay. I agree with you. I think her and Nias definitely need a buff, and I think Nias should be placed ahead of her.
Yeah,
PJ,
nice
what about
first. Nice
yes,
first.
yes, yes. PJ, what about you?
I don't have her. I just know that when she first came out for the boss event, she was a pain in the ass. Like she was so hard over
Mhm.
tune, especially because of like the blessing and stuff and the minions. So I don't know. Maybe they were like a little bit scared to buff her at first because they're like she's really good. But there's a lot of times where people are really good and when they're level 400 or whatever and have crazy stats and stuff versus when we have them. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully she gets buffed soon. I think if you're like an early or mid game player and you get her, like she definitely can help you out. Obviously, I think everyone's talking about like from a late game, end game perspective on her, which is fair. But again, like if you're early or mid game and you get lucky or kind of unlucky, I guess, but lucky enough to get a mythical and she's her and it's her, then I think she could help you out. Definitely PvP, PvE. So yeah, don't really know like don't have her, but yeah,
I
she's there.
I've play tested her a little bit. And to that point, like even if she is one of your first mythicals that you pull on your account, I would not suggest putting the books on her.
Yeah, no, don't book
I,
her.
I would not, I'd wait for like a Lady Mikage or a Carnage or something else that's way better than her. So, book investment wise, I'd say stay the hell away from her. Next up, speaking about a goat, is Carnage. Man, when this guy came out, we were shocked. Plarium has decided that, you know what, we're not gonna let this guy be empowered. Um, yeah, listen, I got a suggestion here, Plarium. Let us use Krosa to empower Carnage. Just saying. I think Plarium is too scared to find out what would happen with a fully +4 empowered Carnage. Maybe chat has some ideas of what we could do with him, but Carnage, I feel, is one of the strongest mythicals. He's free and he's good almost everywhere in PvE and PvP content. He's just a god tier of a champion, and still stays in with the meta pretty strong. So, Gesto, what do you have to say about him?
Carnage is so good, man. So many different ways you could play him. I actually run him a little, probably weirdly. I have him in a 6-piece stone skin just to get him 2 turn, like to try to keep him around for 2 turns. Uh, and high accuracy, high speed. Really just to land those debuffs. That black debuff, black active is so strong against mythicals, so strong against any of the, freaking Marichkas, like anything, anyone with the annoying passives, Bayix, the Niamis. So just super strong. I don't really run them as much as I used to, just because I've picked up a few new champs, like like Solinar and Theodosia and Crixia and stuff. So I don't run them as much as I used to. I know he's a great person for Death Dealer as well. I know I learned that from Kampachi, so I'm sure he'll bring that up a little bit, a little bit more.
He's a garlic
But
cheater.
but yeah, just like a great, like this is a great champ, free champ, one that you can earn. Anyone can earn it, and he's great everywhere. I mean, I love him in Live Arena, but he's great everywhere.
Fair, fair. Chat. I mean, Carnage has been out for just almost 2 years. Do you guys have him yet or not? And what kind of a soul do you have for him? Do you have a 1-star blessing, 2-star? Let's talk to the garlic cheater himself, Mr. Final Kampachi, who runs him with a Death Dealer.
I actually got lucky. I pulled a 6-star Carnage Soul like pretty early, so I've been using him like for a while. Yes, I have him Swift Parry Stone Skin build. Unfortunately, if I build him 6-piece Stone Skin, because I have a Death Dealer, his Stone Skin not going to be last on him like that well, I guess that. So it's a negative thing about the Death Dealer. But I actually want to really want to rebuild him for 9-piece Mercury, man. But accessories doesn't let me to do that currently. I'm very unlucky, but 9-piece Mercury, guys, Carnage can be actually extremely strong. Actually, I have a fast Carnage, quite a fast, like special beginning of the game, Nier. let's say they didn't get a turn, and boom, you can use the A3 skill on the Neve, and she's out, man. She cannot cast a block damage. She cannot use the skill. Same for the Nice. If Nice under like Feral set, if the Nice under like Stone Skin, if you manage to remove this buff from them, same for the Sigfrund. Both of them is negative affinity, right? But if you have a Death Dealer, no weak attack. So if you have enough accuracy, which is his third skill on the first form, is ignore 30% actually target resistance, if I'm not mistaken. So this is huge actually. Like the
Right.
skill is beautiful. His spread ability, his counter attack mechanic coming from the A1 skill, which is the first form, is also extremely strong against the Mercury. Let's say enemy has like Mercury set guys like 9 piece. Whenever they attack you, Carnage gonna counter attack them with the default skill, which is attack twice. You know, like it's also one of the weapon I'm using against the Mercury meta, which is super strong. He can be work on the go second team, like the guest I'll doing. You guys can give him Stone Skin. You guys can give your champion in the Mercury set on these days. He's definitely like, I don't know, definitely top 10 mythical champion. Maybe top 5 we can call that. You know what is his only negative thing, like you mentioned earlier? Especially Kraken wise, you know, like Krakens don't like to use the mythical champion if they are not +4,
Mhm.
and they cannot empower them, so there is no champion to get empower the like Carnage, Embris, stuff like that. So that's the only negative thing. I think Krakens doesn't like it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of build that I have on him at 328 speed, Swift Parry, and Stone Skin. I focus to try to get him as fast as possible. Accuracy could not accuracy, attack could definitely be worked on. But we do
Mine's
have a
better.
6-star soul. Well, I you know what? I gave up my damage on him because I found somebody else to put my Death Dealer on. But I did put the Temporal Stagnator on him, you know, where it has a 20% chance to remove Steel Convert buffs or increase skill cooldowns when landing a weak hit, which is pretty strong, to be quite honest, going into some of these champions. Um, let's talk about Mr. PJ. What about you? What do you have to say about our boy Carnage?
Yeah, you guys are giving him high praise, and I agree. He's a beast. I think he's getting even better now with the Mercurial meta, kind of like what Ken said. The counterattacking is huge to reduce these stacks. He also hits really hard. You can build him a bunch of different ways. You can build him with ignore defense, skier. You can build him more supporty with crit rate. His second form smacks. For PvE wise, he hits really hard, and PvP wise, you can like switch over and wipe them out in second form. Yeah, really strong aura in PvP. Insane speed aura. Yeah, he's super strong, and I think only got better with the new meta. He was good to begin with. You can earn it. I mean, not it's kind of RNG, but eventually you'll get a blessing from him as well if you keep doing the rotations of Curse City and get the chest. And yeah, he's a beast. Everyone gets him. Great champ.
What sucks is that once you pull the soul for him, you can't get it again from the chest in Curse City. So if you pull it
Apparently
from the
that's not
soul,
true. My clanmate's gotten multiple 6-star from the chest, he said.
multiple
Oh, wow.
6-stars, you should
Yeah,
not
and
be
5 stars.
um
He sent me a
not from
screenshot.
not from the chest. There's no way.
Yeah. D2.
Really.
Yeah.
So from hard mode, they're getting more interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be one-time rewards, right here.
Yeah, he said you got it multiple times. I know. That's what
Fucking
I said.
bugged.
Interesting. Zero. What about you? What do you got to say about our boy Carnage here?
Yeah, everything that everybody said is really, I mean, amazing. I guess I'm just screwing up on Curse City because I only have a 2-star soul for him. And again, kind of the same thing is like you don't have that extra crit damage. It does limit your ability with him, but he just brings so much versatility. And again, I guess I'm pairing all these up with my Marishka test. So Marishka uh, crushes Cometus. Well, Carnage with that block passive really hampers my Marishka. So I always have to be cautious of him when he's in the game. So I like him.
Right.
He's a great champion. And to y'all's point, again, Mercurial really nerfed Cometus, and Carnage definitely got to step up because all his counterattacks and stuff that he's got kind of built into
Right.
this kid will help you with the Mercurial, which is fantastic. And then I will say I would not be able to do what I can do in Faction Wars without him.
Yep.
That's for sure too. He's a beast in PvE from that.
Okay. Jay, what do you got to say?
Yeah, Carnage being a free-to-play mythical, kind of like Embris, is kind of funny. I'm surprised they made them the free ones because they're really, really strong. Like even in the Mercurial meta, he still can help you bring down the stacks, and he has like block revives. He's one of the few champions that can put seal, right? He's one of the few champions that can put block passive in the game as well. Only like what, 4 can do that. So like he does so many things all just in the first form, just in the first. Then the second form has insane nukage. You can build them with high AC, you can build them high speed, high damage. Man, I'm building them as a slow res person, right? So I don't get stripped on my stone skin, so they can't go through my increased res and just basically whacking them, kind of like if he had counterattack buff, but he doesn't, because it's just how the passive. He's another good champion to go with Predator, right? Because they both start counterattacking. Like it's kind of crazy. He's really strong, and that speed lead is one of the highest speed leads in the game, right? For Arena, so. Unfortunately, can't use it in Siege, but if you're doing like Classic or Live Arena, it is very, very good champion. I think I'm surprised they gave the opportunity to keep going to 6. I thought we were going to stop at 4, but yeah, good thing they didn't help us empower him, because I would not want to see +2, +4 Carnages. It's already hard enough seeing 1, so I'm happy. I think he's a really good. I would say he's still like a 9 out of 10 actually.
Okay, I'm interested to see here if he can actually. I never noticed that he had a second face on each side of his head instead of ears. That's kind of cool. You really never take the time to look at how cool these champions are sometimes. Yeah. Overall, though, I think this faction has some pretty solid mythicals, with the exception of Krosa. Hopefully Plarium does something to bring Cometus back into the meta a little bit. And then Carnage, we just need somebody to empower him. And again, Plarium, give us Krosa. Let us empower him with Krosa. All right. Moving on to the undead. Let's start off with Mina. I mean, I've gotten a couple of people that had her use her against me. She kind of works a lot like Siegfried's passive. Siegfried, she can't transform unless she dies. But honestly, like, I feel like the ratings on her are pretty fair, right? She's not that great. I haven't really been concerned about her. That said, maybe you guys have a different idea. Chat, do you have Mina? Gestel, what about you?
No, I really have zero experience with her. I haven't faced her. I don't have her.
I was gonna say,
Honestly,
who is this champion?
I haven't really got through the skill kit. I don't have a lot for you on this one, buddy.
Okay,
I don't know much about her.
Two so far saying not worth it. PJ, what about you?
I'm not saying not worth it, but yeah, I don't have her. I've never faced her. I don't really know much about her.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I got nothing for you.
So far, Krosa 2.0. Zero?
Yeah, no clue who even in this champion is. I literally had to like pull up the stream and be like, who is this champion again? Yeah, and I guess that just shows nobody's even actually trying to use her. So I guess if she's that bad or nobody uses her, that expect this one to be the next one buffed, probably. Who knows?
No. I'm not saying she's bad. I don't have her.
I mean, look, even mythicals
if she
that
was
we
good,
don't
you'd see her
have-
in arena.
Not just that, but
Maybe
even
not. A lot of
mythicals
people
that-
don't have her. She's new.
Yeah. So is what's her name? Sarabelle, whatever the hell her name
And I
is.
haven't seen her either.
Oh, I've seen her, but everybody talks about her. No one talks about Mina.
Yeah, because she's. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have her, but I don't know. Don't just shit on her like that.
Well,
Just because you don't have her doesn't mean she's terrible.
it's not that it's not that I don't have her. I just don't think, like, I've gone up against her and she really has not impressed me at all. Like, it's kind of like they tried to copy Siegfried and give her a little bit more, but didn't really work.
Gotcha.
Jay, what about you?
I actually think she's not that bad. I did get to play with her on John B's account. Basically, in the first form, you're basically CCing people. You're destroying their speed. So in the long meta, Mercurial's not a quick meta, right? Unless you just Marius them and then just nuke them down, right? After the Marius goes. So basically, you have to play the long game in the beginning And if they're going first, you're destroying their speed. You can destroy up to 100 speed if they're filling turn meter. A lot of people are filling turn meter nowadays. Not every champion, but most people are getting some form of a boost, right? So in the first form, you're basically just stripping. Everything is unresistible in the first form because you're going to build her high attack. She's one of the highest base attack mythicals other than like Carnage. So in terms, well, in that first form is not as high, but if you look at the second form, it's almost 2,000. But basically, you're just trying to destroy speed, and then over long term, they're going to all be like, let's say they're all 300, they're actually 200 speed, while you're going 400. So she just makes the fight a little bit like easier for you over, in the long term. She does have a double hit A1. She's more of a crowd control person, right? You have like the decrease attack leech, you have the stuns, but once again, there's lots of wands out there. There's lots of ways. There's deflection set. There's other things you can just, have block debuffs buff. It's unblockable. It's not like Sir Nick's A1 that can go through block debuffs buff and be unresistible. If she had that, can go through block debuffs buff, I think she'd be way better. Now her second form is pretty nasty if you can actually get it to go through. I've wiped people like just full like everyone dead. I'm like, dang. She basically gets more like self-healing faster, so she becomes a really fast nuker, kind of like Razelvarge back in the days, right? Like Razelvarge would stack up his speed and get really ridiculous. So first form, she's slowing you down. Second form, she's like going giga fast nuker. But the problem is she doesn't have any like like Crew Tracks that has the whole I come back, kill you, I'm revive a den, kill you again. Like she doesn't have that. She's kind of like I have to come back from my revive and death, kind of like Siegfried, then go second form, then I go crazy. But the second form isn't all like Hail Mary. If you die there, yeah, you might come back once, but that's it. There's just better champions like Nias and other stuff. If you don't get countered, block damage. I don't know. I think they need to give her a little bit more adjustment. She is good, but she's not like a Sabiel. She's not like broken, but she's a decent. I would give her like a 7.5, maybe even an 8 if you have really good gear blessings. But she's just so conditional. That's the problem.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
I'm glad somebody had something nice to say about her. I'm still gonna say don't invest your books in her. But that said, can you change my mind like Jay?
I mean, I remember like whenever Plarium released this champion, yeah, she's kind of naive. We read her skill kit and I'm like, what the hell? She's OP, man. Like, what the hell? I think the only bad thing about her, Jay pretty much mentioned like everything about her, but Metamorph skill, she cannot use it by herself. It's like Siegfried.
Yep.
So when she dies, she's automatically using the skill, and if she's against the Marius, for example, she's just gonna die. Unless she has Zibia, maybe can keep her, but yeah, it's another mythical relic we are talking about here. Turns out she's not that good. People who have her is not really having fun with that. I personally don't have her. I didn't really see her in the arena. Maybe actually people are right, maybe she's not that great. So maybe that's why we are not seeing her in the arena. It's like we can say like 300 people have her currently. So yeah, I guess she's not that great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I faced her a couple of times and wasn't really somebody I was like, oh, I need to ban or anything like that. And I think, yeah, just kind of needs a little more of a buff before we can say, yeah, definitely useful. That said, we can't say that about Theodosia. Theodosia, man, all I'm going to say is if you have her, book her, get her leveled, give her her best gear. And you can go one of two ways. You can either go, full out resist or just pure speed mercurial. That said, I'm gonna go to the guy that really has her and is excited to use her, Mr. Gestel. What are you thinking about Theodosia? How do you have her built?
Man, such a game changer for my account. Having to face freaking Purple Kale Galther for however long. And I finally got like a strong mythical revive. Like it was such a game changer. I haven't gone mercurial on her yet because I can't get stupid accessories. Banners are just like I cannot get good banners at all for any faction. I'm missing banners in like every or like a good banner. And like you can fudge mercurial on the ring and on the Ami, but like you really can't do it on the banner. I feel like. So I have her in Feral Stone Skin right now. Super high resist, fast, tanky. Man, game changer. She's like different. You have to get used to her because she's not like really protecting everybody else unless you revive with the unkillable, but she puts that veil out and gets the stone skin on herself. So, the people are still doing the AoE attacks. She's not really protecting people there. So you gotta kind of be weary of that. But it's not the end of the world because you get the revive up, you get the unkillable. And that's a 2-turn unkillable, which is insane. Um, you can really kind of just keep people alive. Like I'm really never afraid of people dying when I have her
Right.
because I know I'm going to get them back up and going to be protected for at least a turn or two. So I'm a huge fan of her. She like got me back. Like I felt like I got her and Solinar like within a month. Like I got like 2 meta champs. Like I was right back in the live arena mix. It was so nice. It was so nice. Like just a game changer. If you get her, like, and I didn't even talk about her second form. Her second form is super strong too. But really, to me, in live arena, it's all about her first form.
Right. I think form number 1 is absolutely god tier, one of the best mythical champions. Form 2, you got to be careful pulling her in there because, unless you got like a Nias out there that you want to just try to keep controlled and making sure that the protected block debuffs go out. But Theodosia is just one of my second most wanted. We'll go with that. PJ, what about you? What do you got to say about Theodosia?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have her, but I mean, Gessel did a great job talking about her. I mean, I can talk about her second form, I guess, a little bit. I mean, again, I don't have her, but yeah, I mean, not every champion we have to use a PvP. There's other areas of the game as well, guys. If you didn't know that, there's PvE areas. She's part of like the best Trunda team. She's part of like the best coalition clan boss team. Second form, you put her in 9-piece feral. She's insane, does crazy debuffs. First form is also really good for PV as well. But yeah, she's one of the best out there. Some people say she's the best mythical support. Some people say like it's Galathier, but being in the debate for 1 or 2, like that's a pretty good spot to be in, like for the
Right.
game. So yeah, I would say she's definitely worth the bucks, as you would say.
Right. If anybody has a dupe Theodosia out there and wants to trade it for my dupe Galathier that you don't have, please reach out and let me know. I might be able to make Plarium make that happen. Ken, what do you think? Theodosia.
She's one of my most wanted mythical champion. Like for the support reviver, it's not important how is the revive skill is working. It's not important like how many people they are reviving. It's important thing these champions, most like the DPS champion we are assuming, because it's easy to kill them compared to the support champion. Are they going to be survive? Are they going to get a turn after a support champion going to revive them? That's why Hilve got super popular, right? Because Hilve is a revive with the block damage buff. But Theodosia can do pretty much the same thing. I mean, there is not like noticeable difference between block damage and the unkillable buff. Actually, there is a correct loss of champion ignore block damage buff, but not the unkillable buff.
Right.
There is
Right.
very
Nice.
less champion are ignoring unkillable buff, which is she's casting 2-turn unkillable, and this is a AoE ability. Like we don't have to talk anything else after that skill, to be honest. But she also has self-cast of Stone Skin, which means beginning of the game, let's say you build her resistance, which is I want to build her. Actually, like correctly, like Mercury set is the thing, but let's forget the Mercury set not exist for a second, and we still using champion on the Stone Skin. You don't have to build her like 6-piece Stone Skin, for example. Why? Because if you give her like 4-piece Stone Skin, beginning of the game, she's going to get like 1 turn duration of the Stone Skin, but her A2 skill is custom Stone Skin, which is the dead skill is the cleanse ability. This is the skill you want to use it first, cleanse your debuff, and at the same time she's going to get a Stone Skin back. And if you have a lasting gift masteries, there's a chance she can get a Stone Skin by 2 turn.
Yep.
This also like quite annoying because like she's also cast the perfect veil buff. So if the enemy team has like single target DPS champion or something like that, they cannot target the rest of your teams because she's going to absorb the damage because she's under Stone Skin. So
Right.
but obviously Mercury set is the strong obviously on her as well. So there is nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong, like this skill extremely strong still, even with the Mercury set. She's definitely top 3 mythical champion in my opinion.
Right. Jay, Theodosia, anything bad you want to say about her?
I'll keep it short on the first one. The first one, of course, is very powerful form. The reason why in this meta is because of Predator. Predator runs out of his Perfect Veil from his passive if he doesn't activate the A3 to put another Perfect Veil. This champion, you see Theodosia with him all the time, right?
Mm,
So it's just, imagine you got to go through first Predator's evading, then go through her unkillable. Wait, now she has a taunt. She's cleansing so it's just like, damn, she's really good. And she doesn't put unkillable on just them that revive. She puts it on everyone, including herself. So she can literally go unkillable, then put a stone skin on top of her. So if you break through stone skin, you're like, nope, can't kill her because she's unkillable. So she is really crazy. I don't think she's better than Galther. I think Galther's more OP. Galther and Nice need nerfs. But she is what you'd call a
Yeah, there we go.
she is what I would consider a good mythical, like really strong, but not like so OP that you can't do nothing, right? Again, unless those two champions. But her second form, I actually think it's not as good as everyone thinks. It's good for like PvE and it helps you in PvP. But when they go second form, I instantly win the match. They ruin it. It's like Galther goes second match. If he's not using the A3 to control like certain champions, if it's just to like remove stuff, I actually win. Galther in first form or her in first form, it makes it super hard for me to win. So that's the only downside about her is her second form. It actually makes her more vulnerable. Yes, she can control you and reduce your speed, but if you're uncontrollable or resist, you can't. Her stuff is not unresistible. Galther gives himself increased accuracy and all this other. I'm like, what the? It's crazy. Like, so that's why he's
Right.
OP. But she doesn't have that. I think she's really strong. 9.5 out of 10. She's almost broken.
okay. Zero, what about you? Anything you want to say about her?
I mean, she's amazing. I wish I had her. I wish I had any of the sport champions, Galathea or Theodosia. Um, yeah, and it's always tough to kind of have to deal with that. So, like again, trying to fight against it, I'm always looking at like I don't know, ways to kind of break that stone skin and or the unkillable. It's kind of how you have to kind of combat it if you can, right? So
Right.
that's about
Okay.
it.
All right. Moving on to Calamitus. Actually, before I move on to Calamitus, I do want to give a shout out here to our boy DeCurse one who did rate us in. Guys, if you are not following DeCurse, he is an awesome creator on Twitch. Show him some love. Click on his name or click on the link that we just gave him a shout out on and give him a follow. All right, Calamitus. I think this guy with Mercurial has gotten some play. I think other than that, the only time I really saw him being used was in a video that Bronco did for a fast clear on Fire Knight 10 hard mode. Other than that, this guy has just, for me, would be a Vault Guardian, not somebody I'd be happy to get. Chat, am I right? Am I wrong? Do you have Calamitus? Are you using him for something else? Like I said, I think right now, because of Live Arena and Mercurial, he does come in pretty strong with that. But PJ, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I don't have him, but I would say he got a pretty good buff with Mercurial and also with Bayak. His one of his moves, I think it's the A3, is a quad hitter and it always crits. And I think it hits extremely hard. So yeah, I mean, any type of multi-hitter, especially a quad hitter nowadays, I think it hits hard enough depending on the champion. That last hit can one-shot them. So you do 1, 2, 3 hits, get rid of the Mercurial, and that last hit, depending on the champion, can just kill them, which is really strong. Yeah, I think he got a buff just from everything else, not like a direct buff, but like an indirect buff to himself. Yeah, I think he's quite strong and good in PvP now, and definitely in PvE as well.
Okay. Yeah, so his A3 or his A2 attacks 1 enemy 4 times
okay.
each hit, has an extra 20% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Okay. Gesto, what about you?
I have him. I've pretty much solely used him for PvE. I put him in just like leftover gear, and he does great damage. I use him a lot in like Grim Forest, and I have him on one of my Hydra teams, like I think my like hard one, like the lowest one. But it just puts out good damage for there. I hadn't really thought much about him for PvE. But I kind of, the A3 looks pretty nice. Where did it go?
attacks all enemies. This attack's always critical and will ignore 20% of the
Yeah,
target's
always
defense.
critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the back, like PJ said, that's very interesting. And if he kills, he gets the unkillable. I don't know. I mean, I don't have him booked or anything, so wouldn't be someone I would build. But yeah, maybe in the future, someone I'd look at as a bait counter. But yeah, he's solid. Super. I love him in PvE. That's what I'll say about him. I love him in PvE.
Like I said, I mean, it's a quad hitter, which is what helps him in PvP because of Mercurial, and I've seen some people bring him in, and some have worked pretty well with it. But you know, he's not a must-have for PvP, right? Ken, I think Alpha says you're gonna call me out here.
Yeah, I see his message. Bro, like, he's my secondary mythical champion. I was super sad whenever I pulled it because he was trash. He got a buff, right? Most of my mythical champion got a buff after I pulled them. So if you guys have a wish list, let me know.
Pull Nias. Pull Nias.
Wait, what? Excuse me? To be honest, like, you know what? Like, joke aside, actually Jay just said, like, nerf the Nice, bro. Like, Nice compared to the Solanar Bayek, I want to face the Nice, man. I want to face the Nice, dude. At least you can expect from the Nice, you know? Like, anyway, Calamitus, I personally enjoy him a lot. Like, I really love this guy. I actually book his bot form. He's extremely strong in the PvE content. I'm not using him on the PvP. But you guys got the solid point. Actually, I wasn't aware, like, this attack is always critical on the, like, one of his skill. I wasn't aware of that. Can be work against the Bayek. But you know, I'm not huge fan of to use the attack DPS champion that much in the arena because I mainly look go second. Yes, I'm using Carnage, but Carnage is Carnage, you know. Anyway, for the PvE content, like, you only need the 80% crit rate on him because he have a build in like 20% crit that can help you to build him like better and easier. This is a good thing about it. He's actually hitting quite hard. He's quite a nice kit. Both form in the, especially first form against the single target bosses is great. He's casting like lots of useful debuff, which is super important for the Green Forest as well, guys. Like, I use him like a lot on the Green Forest too. His secondary form is nuke ability, literally like dealing insane amount of the damage for the multiple hitter. Again, like, he's hitting quite hard. His multiplier is quite a good. I have a 3-star actually on him. I really wish they have like a 6-star, so I really want to try him with the, like, I don't know, with the Creation Rant or the like Nature Rant because they have a debuff to use him full performance, but currently I stuck on the 3-star. So, but again, man, I actually enjoy Calamitus a lot. I really want his 6-star, man, like more than Embris actually currently.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
I don't haven't had a chance to play with Calamitus, but overall from what I see, yeah, he's pretty good in PvE and PvP. He's not the best in PvP because it doesn't like block, ignore block damage, ally protection, shield, or anything like that. Unkillable. But he does have, double hit on the A1 and a quad hit on the A2. He does have a lot of extra chance to crit. So even though we build a lot of our champions 100% crit, when you're fighting against negative affinity, you're always going to lose 15% crit. So even if you build 100 against like a magic champion, Calamitus will only have 85% crit. But he's actually always going to crit that person unless he weak hits. So that's really good about Calamitus. So I'm surprised a lot of people are not using him more in PvP, in Live Arena or Classic Arena. So hopefully in the future we will see him more. Because after his buff, I think he's actually really good. He's not a bad champion at all. But overall, I think he just needs a little bit of that anti, stuff. Maybe like ignore one of them, right? Because he does ignore life barrier and other things, but nothing like what's happening right now for PvP. That's all I think he needs is one of them that he can ignore. Maybe something else, and he'd be really good.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, these guys are the pros. Listen to everything they said. Now, the only place I ever see Calamitus is in Faction Wars Hard, right? And it's like he sneaks up on you, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a mythical, and if I'm not studying what he's doing, which I don't, I just try to just power through him. But yeah, you can get your butt handed to you every now and then if you're not careful. But yeah, I don't study this kid, don't have him, and just kind of cringe when I face him in Faction Wars, basically.
Okay. Next one is Aphodus, Hive Lord. Now I know he recently got a buff a couple of months ago. I still don't have him. I know he's become better in PvE content, not PvP. But I'm gonna start off with Jay because I know Jay has him and does use him. So Jay, what do you got to say about Aphodus?
I was using him before the adjustment. I guess you'd call it buff, but it's not that crazy of a buff. It's good. He's a really good PvE champion. Yeah, like you have to. Like he can solo, kind of like Embris can solo. Not like in terms of like sustain. I'm just saying in terms of like you can deal with stuff because you have your second form as well to sustain and go back to first. He's got AoE burns. He's got pure damage. 9-piece Slayer, way to go. If you don't have Slayer, go 6-piece or 9-piece Merciless. Insane nukage. He has like one of my highest damage of all my. I think Thor's the only person who can like keep up with him, like in a sense. Like he is that much. The problem with this champion is when you go to second form, they gave him a passive that's like, oh, you based on your attack, right, which you have to build. Other champions like Cometus, Embris, other supports, whatever mythical you have, HP and defense go together. Go together like Garrel, right? But like an HP and attack can go together. But attack and defense is not something we build. You don't look at a piece and go, oh, great, I got an attack. Oh, let me put defense with it. Like, you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense in terms of how raid gear works. So I see that we're trying to give him like a defense for every 2 points of attack. So if you build like, let's say 10,000 attack, you're getting that much, half of that much to your defense. That's cool. But defense can be ignored in this game, right? Like you can have some, Savage and all these other skills that can ignore your defense. So it's not bad. It's just that he does have a lot of CC in the second form. I think either two things: make it so that he doesn't have to build accuracy, right? So you can get either more damage or second form can build more HP, or just make the second form unresistible debuffs, right? Like in other mythicals can, and this guy has to build crit rate, crit damage, attack, defense, HP. You have to build every single stat. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like a Lugan, except res, right? And technically, if you want him to be a really good tank in the second form, you got to build res. So it's just weird. It's a lot of stats to stack onto one champion. I would love to use him in PvP, but what does he do in PvP? I mean, you could burn through the stone skin, but now everyone has Mercurial, right? So like he doesn't have a lot of AoE, but he doesn't have a lot of multi hits. His A1, I think his A1 in the second form should have an AoE, kind of like a Marius or like an Embris. Why is it just one target? Like what? Like this, even though he's been adjusted, I still think Aphodus still needs a small buff because he feels like a mythical, but half a mythical. So he's not like two forms; it's like a form and a half, in my opinion. I still like him. I just think he needs a little bit better. I would really use him in arena if they made him a little bit better. But he's just a PvE champion for now.
Okay. Ken, what do you got to say about Aphodus? Anything good?
Pretty much agree what the Jay mentioned. He got a buff while ago. It's hard to say it's a buff. We are going to talk about that like more in soon. Hopefully he's going to receive another buff, man. Like this champion is actually seem like he been have a usage in the like super end game arena. People with the HP burn, most like the Sulfurion against the stone skin meta, they are just melting the enemy stone skin, they are burning them, and this guy is actually hitting quite a hard. But again, like, I mean, even the Sulfurion is out of meta now. Like, who is going to burn the Mercury set, etc. Yeah, he need a buff, man. Unfortunately, he's a very bad mythical champion.
Okay. Chat, how many of you guys had or have Aphodus, and where do you use him? Gessel, what about you? Anything you want to say about this lovely lad?
Yeah, I have him. I don't use him much. He helped me get through Dark Elves Faction Wars hard mode. So I like him for that, I guess. I had run him for a little bit. I think before they changed Hydra, he was pretty strong there, and then when they did all the changes, he kind of fell off. So pretty much PvE champ. I agree with Jay. I think if they did buff, he definitely needs a buff. I agree 100%. They didn't really buff him. They kind of changed him. If they buffed him enough, you could see some. I mean, his kit is interesting enough where he could find his way into PvE or PvP. But yeah, he needs more.
Okay. Zero, what do you have to say about him?
Everything that they said. Yeah, because you don't see him. It's like one of these things, and they buffed him, and yeah, I don't know.
Okay, fair. PJ, anything you want to add on to about this guy?
I have him. Very solid in PvE. His first form hits pretty good. I have a 3-star. I'd love a 4-star on him to get that extra crit damage. He's good for Chimera, bring some trials to the team, self-buffing, increased attack, which is really nice for some stuff there, and just in general, perfect veil, decreased defense. Second form is, I feel like, a little underwhelming. It's great for control, but like, I don't know, I feel like it should be more than a mythic for a mythical. Like, I don't use them too much in that form, but if you do need control, and it can also, it's pretty hard in the second form as well for it being like more of a supporty style of champion. So he's interesting. I definitely think he could use a buff or use a tweaking. But if you get him, he's solid. His first form hits really hard, and it's definitely good for PvE.
Okay. Chat, if you guys were to give a buff to Aphodus, what would it be? All right, next up, we got Arcona Moonspencer. Yeah. Spinner. Yeah, there we go. Dyslexia sucks. Plarium, be a little more dyslexia-friendly, champs, please. That said, I think, honestly, I haven't faced her in Arena. I don't really think she's anything wow. I think she's kind of like Krosa, to be quite honest. But has anyone here gotten her yet? Let's start off with Jay, because I'm sure Jay has gone through the kit more than any one of us has.
So I've actually had a chance to play with her, just like Blood and Mina, right? The other champion that no one really likes. She's really good. She's a good setup champion. You know, kind of like an Odin. They're gonna come, strip, put decreased defense, screw you over. She actually can increase her speed just like Mina can. So if you have both of those mythicals, you start lapping people like crazy. Once again, she's not insane for this meta because, of course, Mercurial. So she doesn't have like a lot of multi-hits. I think the first form has a double hit, but that's it. She's not like going to be like Sabio, right? That hits multiple times. But if we're talking about like tag team arena or classic arena or maybe just PvE, she brings AoE strip, decreased defense, block active skills. So if you can get through the Mercurial, Arachoa is insane. Because the more debuffs she puts, the faster she goes, kind of like a rabbit, right? So imagine you build this champion 400 speed to go, not to go first, not in Mercurial, but if you can go second, or maybe if they don't have Mercurial, go first, she's really strong. She can get herself up to 500 speed. We're not talking about speed leads, increased speed, any of that. That's just the first form, right? First form is just a control, but once again, it's very normal control. It's not like anti-Mercurial control. And then the second form is like trying to use basically if they're block active skills and other stuff, you get all these extra hits. The second form has multi-hits, a lot of them. That's really good against Mercurial, right? And all that speed, if I'm correct, transfers over. So like, let's say you in the first form, you're playing a long fight, like 2, 3, 4 minute fight, and you haven't lost Arachoa yet. You can actually be like, okay, now my nuker is way quicker, just like Mina. So like both, I see what Plarium was trying to do, like trying to get these new mythicals to get like really, really fast nukers over a long period of time. They go quicker. I don't think she's anything too crazy though. She's not like an insane, like, if she goes second form, you just lose, right? Like it's not like that, but it is still strong. I think she's still a little bit underrated. I would say maybe like 8.5, 8 out of 10. I think she's an 8 out of 10 decent mythical, but just not anything like top tier,
Okay. So it looks like there's 436 people have him. Out of those 436, are any of you guys in our chat, and have you built her or used her anywhere else in particular? Ken, what do you got to say about Moonspinner?
I think she's pretty much trash, man. I actually see her like a couple of times in the arena, but she did nothing. She just died there. I don't know. Her secondary form, actually, my chat is the other day, like we was talking about that on live stream. Her A2 ability on the secondary form is the NM max HP, actually, which is attack 3 times. So there's some like not potential there, like if people doesn't have a not early game, mid game account, if you guys have this lady, this can be good. I'm not sure about her multiplier, but just because of the attack 3 time NM max HP ability, that can be decent-ish. Obviously, like end of the day, we want more from a mythical champion. Hopefully, she's also on the buff list, or hopefully she's also on the buff list, man. Plarium can do something about this later.
Okay. I'm reading through chat here, and a couple of people do have her, and Josh says that he uses her for the second form on the A2. The enemy max HP hit seems to be pretty solid. But as Ken said, I don't know what the multipliers are, but if you're interested about finding where the multipliers are, make sure to go to gestel.gg and look at all that. You'll find a lot of information there. And speaking about Gestel, what about you, man? What do you got to say about Moonspinner?
Yeah, I don't have her. I haven't faced her, so I don't have a tremendous amount to report on her. A couple people in my stream have gotten her, and we're trying to build her. I don't remember much success in terms of using her in places like a arena or anything being reported back to me about her. So yeah, I think probably has to be on that list for a buff. It sounds like.
Okay. PJ?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have her, but looking at her kit again, like there's other areas besides PvP. I think she looks like a mythical G-Nut. No, like, did you guys read that
Yeah.
A2? Any type of counterattacking, she uses the A3. Like, that's insane.
yeah.
Or the A2, sorry.
Well, any attacks one enemy 3 times will always use this skill instead of the default skill when counterattacking. This skill cannot be block active skills. So yeah, okay.
Like, hello, is that not insane? And then the A3 is also really good. It's a quad hitter and it ignores 30% defense if they have decreased defense. I'm like, you're gonna have decreased defense up.
Yeah, okay.
Like
PvE definitely, I guess form 2 is not bad to have.
Like
I
she
think
looks like she's a hitter. It looks like she's like a mythical Gina. I don't know. I feel like people are. I don't have her again. I don't know her multipliers, but just looking at her kit, she looks great for PVE. I know like people don't like PVE mythicals, but I mean, there's gonna be some. I don't know.
Okay. Zero, what do you got to say about her?
What PJ said.
Okay. He's like, I'm simple with that. All right, let's move on to our Night Revenants, and we're going to start off with Embris. I mean, we've already talked enough about him. Great champion, solid HP nuker, one of the, I would say, top 5 mythicals right now. Does anyone have anything bad to say about Embris? I hope not, because
I don't think he's a top 5 mythical.
I don't know, depending on what kind
Definitely
of
not
soul
top
you
5.
have.
No, definitely not.
All right, all right,
No.
all right. Let's
Can I say something about him?
let's start off with Ken first.
Okay, so something bad about him, right? So the thing is, I noticed him actually last season on the live arena, especially close to the end of it. I keep seeing people first or the second placement of the Embris. Obviously, they have a blessing. The reason they are placing Embris in that position of the arena because of the secondary form, passive skill, reflect damage, right? It's very annoying. So I find out like lots of position myself. My nuker got a turn. Mythical nuker actually got a turn. They are about to smack the enemy team, AoE attack, stuff like that, and boom, there's Embris. They are killing themselves. You know how I fix this problem?
Carnage.
No.
Oh.
I give them 9-piece Mercury set.
Mercurial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, my DPS champion getting turn, they are, let's say, like, their total guard stack is removed. Okay, enemy attack, blah, blah, but they survive. So they got a turn. Whenever they got a turn, because of the 9-piece bonus, they are getting 1 total guard stack back on them. And when they are nuking the enemy team, no reflect damage coming back from the Embris passive skill. You guys need to be aware of that, and you gotta give this up.
Oh,
5.
shit.
So
Okay.
that's the only negative thing I would like to say about him. Mercury set is going to be affect his passive skill a little bit. Obviously, he's still very strong champion. Don't get me wrong. He can hit really, really hard, guys. Especially if you don't have too much DPS option.
Right. To be fair, with the Mercurial, almost every single champ has gotten a nerf, every single mythical because of Mercurial. So yeah.
I mean, Nias is Nias extremely strong in the 9-piece Mercurial.
Fabian got buffed. Carnage got buffed.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Predator.
Yeah,
Crixia.
definitely.
Crixia.
Everybody make Crixia, dude. Every fight.
Timberwolf, thank you so much for gifting those 5-tier subs out to Joe, Risen Bones, Murder, Booner, and Les Cavalier. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you. Jay, what do you got to say about Embris? I know you could sit here and talk for hours, but let's not.
I don't have any, the only thing I guess bad I could say about him is that like the whole accuracy situation, right? Like like oh man, you get the first form is like, well, you got to build accuracy unless you have necrosis, and then the second form it hurts your second form. But I honestly I actually like him too much. The one thing I can say is if you're not going to use him as a nuker because you're getting countered by Mercurial, use necrosis. I use necrosis, like he could die and I still win a match just because the necrosis is there. I build slower champions like with counterattack, like Geralt, Leo, and that just it's like having a permanent dot. Unless they AoE revive, which eventually I'll just wipe them all again and one by one. That necrosis just staying there indefinitely is insane. It's literally an infinite debuff. So
Right.
I cannot say more good about Embris.
Yeah, the necrosis stacks still continue even if he's dead and you can't revive him, or if he's block revive too. So that's absolutely massive. I do see a lot of people play him in just form 1 and then proc it when they go from his A3 into his A2 and stuff too also. Zero, what about you? What do you got to say about Embris?
Yeah, I do like Embris. Again, I'm glad that they're finally giving us a chance for a soul. Again, being able to strip the stone skin is really nice, and getting all the extra turns too, which the permanent necrosis is just massive. And getting those 2 extra turns on the 2 different forms also procs those ticks of the DOT, right? Fantastic in faction wars. You got champions like Theodore and things like that. I can kind of get some poisons and stuff out there too. Which is nice in the Knights Rev, and then you kind of stack this on top, and it's just more DOTs. And it's just like, okay, now you're just waiting for a few of them to die, and then the DOT gets more powerful as it goes, and you're kind of like cruising through the content. So I still think he's a great champion. Yeah, and I can't wait to get a soul and kind of try to use him a little bit more than I have been in the past. But I think someone said earlier tonight or today at the very beginning of the stream is now that everybody's getting a shot for this soul, you're going to see more of him. So I do think you're going to have to kind of, start thinking about building teams to counter what he can do, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Chat, where is Embris in your order pick? Are you picking him first, second, third for Lavarina, or are you not picking him at all? PJ, what about
and
you?
one other thing to cut in real fast. Sorry about that. Because I just started using Crixia now, and I built a cool team that's going to go up on YouTube later this week. But using Valkanen to kill the Crixia, she revives herself and starts killing people, and both of them have block revive. Don't forget with Embris, you start doing block revive, you are permanent locking it in. To what Jay was saying, because they can't revive, and those DOTs are just going to sit there and tick. So I'm going to be really curious to see if I could throw Embris in that team.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I think he's a beast. Like everyone said, I think he's really, really good. Not quite sure if he's top 5 mythical, but again, I mean, maybe like top 10 or something. He's good. Like everyone gets him, which is awesome. Good for PvP and PvE. I guess the one thing is Mercurial hurts him a little bit. I could be wrong, but I believe if you have 9-piece Mercurial, the Mercurial overrides the Necrosis.
Correct.
So that does hurt him a little bit. But yeah, overall, he's very strong. Yeah, great champion.
Okay. Gestel, what about you? What do you got to say about our boy Embris here?
I would say the worst thing about Embry is his AI, because when I throw him into Grim Forest, he just stays in the first form, bro, and just swap into that second form. Oh my god, do some damage for me. Like here's what. Let me just go. I don't want to complain, but what would be really nice is, and I didn't come up with this. Someone in my stream had mentioned this. A global AI, specific. I mean, mostly for your mythicals, because their kind of mythicals is ridiculous. But if you could do like a global setting, like if like it gets overridden by like your team AI setup, but if you just throw a bunch of champs together and you'd rather them swap into the second form for help, like it'd be nice to be able to kind of set like a global AI.
Okay. I kind of agree with that. I think he gets stuck on his A1 form way too often, and you're just like,
So annoying.
can't really do anything. But somebody who has gotten a massive boost in playtime is Night Queen Crixia, or has it been a massive boost in ban time? Mercurial has raised her along with some other champions right to the top. I'm not gonna lie, my number one pick. If you pick her, I'm kind of pissed off because I'm like, why the hell do you have a Crixia? Why are you using her? I built two of her, one in Mercurial, one in Supersonic. So, Gestel, what do you got to say?
Yeah, probably my most picked champ. I don't pick her first because a lot of people don't have her, and I'm banking I could get her kind of in the second go around. But just absolutely unbelievable. Locks everybody out. Lockout is so strong now. Like, okay, you got Mercurial, but you're locked out. So you're gonna hit me with a bunch of A1s. I don't care. And then flop into second form and reset everybody, cleanse everybody, put block debuffs on everybody. Just absolutely probably my favorite champ. I just rebuilt her. I don't really want to say how I rebuilt her, but man, I'm loving the rebuild.
Please
And,
share. Give us details.
okay, I'll
Yes,
tell you.
yeah.
I bet she's my fastest champ now. I put her in hilt, fastest champ. Got her in One Piece Mercurial just to keep her alive, but I'm just throwing her out there, bro. Let me see your speed lead. Let me see your fastest champ, and let me see if I can beat her. So yeah, fastest champ I have now.
Like I said, I got two of them. This is my main one. 423 speed in what is it, 6-piece Mercurial, just to be able to not have to deal with what's his name, the horse. And then I put her in Supersonic and Stone Skin. She's a little slower. She's at 391. But yeah, one of the
So nice.
one of the best mythicals in the game right now. And you know, if you use her properly with her A3, sorry, not her A3, her A2 on her first form, if she can put up that block debuffs, then that Mercurial doesn't come back, even if it's a 9-piece. So it's definitely very helpful. PJ, what do you got to say about her?
Yeah, Gessel said great words about her. Definitely, I agree with him. It's kind of funny. I feel like she was. People were. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people were kind of hating on her a little bit before Mercurial. I feel like she was kind of losing value. People really weren't using her too much. So yeah, she took a major 180. She's insane now, especially with Mercurial. Because she counters lockout. Because she is a lockout, but also counters lockout. Because she can just switch over and reset your team. And we know how strong Fabian. I mean, and lockout's the one way to counter Mercurial. Of one of the ways to counter Mercurial. So she just counters the counter to the counter. It's like
She's
and then she has
mythical version of Yumiko. Mythical version of
yeah,
Yumiko.
pretty much. Yeah. And like she reset, like, you take a turn, she resets you can go again. She can put up the block debuffs as well, so if they have a bomber and she's fast, you can switch over and stop that on the second form. Yeah, insane. I know a lot of people are building their lockouts as their fastest champion now, like Fabians or whoever they have is now their fastest. They don't even like they're faster than their speed boosters. So yeah, she's insane with the new meta, super upgrade, amazing champion.
Okay. Chat, is she your number one ban pick, or do you let her go in? Ken, what do you got to say about Crixia?
I mean, pretty much I agree what the guest style PJ mentioned. She's special against the Mercury set and the Chrono Page actually. She can also work against the Chrono Page. Unless the Lightning catches Protect, she's still very strong champion, mythical champion in the game. Lookout champion with the Ignore Resistance are negatively affecting my resist meta. When I see the Mavara, you know, like Field Terminator, whenever enemy receive buff. But you know what? There is people like a Gestal building their fastest champion Crixia, which is beginning of the game. They are not getting buffed. She just look at you before the trigger the Mavara passive skill. So no increased resistance. That's why I don't like Mavara that much. This is kind of thing you guys going to see, especially on the late end game arena, guys. So and they are like fastest champion are lookout ability, you know. So unfortunately, Mavara is not going to be help us against her. Be aware of that. Yeah, she's on my wish list, man. You know what? Because I want to use her on my team so I can deal with the Fabian, you know? He's a pleb. We can resist him.
Okay. Jay, anything you want to fill in about Crixia?
Yeah, she's not as broken as Gallagher, but she is super insane because she has a passive very similar to him, where she basically you build her res, you build her fast, and you win, you profit. Oh, I didn't lock you out. It's fine. I'm gonna reset my champions. Oh, you're putting debuffs. Fine. I'm gonna put increased res. Now you're not gonna get through. Wait, you have buffs? No. I'm gonna put decreased res and block buffs. What? Like you can't do nothing against her. It's super annoying. If she has high res, good luck. You're not gonna get through. Like probably gonna have over 1,000 res. So Marius's have trouble, unless they can kill her, right? Unless they can kill her, then you're okay. But otherwise, you can't go through anything. She is nuts. If Galter didn't exist, I would ask for a Crixia nerf. But the fact that Galter's still alive, he needs a nerf. But she's really strong. 9.8 out of 10, almost perfect. Crazy. It's just crazy that she has both. She has both of both worlds, right? You can swap whichever world you want to be in, and I don't mean form. Like she literally changes the way you want to play. Want to play aggressive? Go first form. Want to play slow and steady and high res? You can go in the second form. Was my most wanted back then because she has. I like her just aesthetic, and I like to play lockout like Fabian and other stuff, but. I don't think I'm going to get her anytime soon. But if I had to choose between Saviel and her, I'm not having as much trouble against Crixia nowadays that I used to. I guess because we've been so used to Fabians and Crixias and Warlords. I'm kind of used to Lockout. But Saviel, I think I probably would still be my first most wanted.
100%.
He's like Hannah Montana, best of both worlds.
Okay. Zero, anything you want to say about Night Queen Crixia?
Yeah, I do. Because it's like blending Yumeko and Prince Kaimar together, right, into one champion. When this champion was like one of the originals that came out, I was like, oh man, I really wish this. And I've never pulled a Warlord or Yumeko or any of that. And obviously, everybody's got Fabian nowadays. I will say to combat her, and I did it really to combat the Fabian, is Hansel and Gretel. I still go back to that with Mariska and Lady Mikagi, just because you get all the ally attack kind of blender comp, and Hansel and Gretel have the double AoE hits if there's a debuff out there on both of them. So you're looking at 4 AoE hits, and with the A1, it was just super powerful. So that's whenever I see a Crixia, and again, not necessarily in live arena because you got to get the pairing off in live arena, but so I don't really do that, but. In regular stuff, yeah, that still kind of holds true, and probably I would say because I don't have a Warlord or Yumeko, she's probably my most wanted. I would say Grape Kale is the best, as Gestel calls Galathier, but because I do have Mariska and some other really good support champions. Again, Grape Kale is still better, but I think I would go for her because I don't have the Warlord or Yumeko.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, overall, I think Crixia has just shot up one of the best mythicals, and I'm glad I have 2 of her. I would not, maybe I would trade her for somebody. If you got it worthwhile, let me know. I'll reach out to Plarium and we can trade it. But yeah. Floney, man, I just pulled a dupe of him, and I know he got a buff. He's okay for PvE. Faction Wars is pretty much where I use him. But this guy needs to go back to the drawing board, man. He needs some help. He needs a buff. I don't know what they got to do. Chat, can you help us out here? Let us know what they should do for Floney. But let's start off with PJ first.
I don't have him. Don't really see him used too many places outside of like Faction Wars, some PvE stuff, I guess. Yeah, I don't really got much for you. Could use another buff. You already got buffed at least once. Did you get buffed twice, maybe? At least once.
Once, yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, I've used him in Live Arena a couple of times after the buff with the A2 on Form 1. Seems to be okay. But he's got a crit. But yeah. Gestel, anything you want to say?
I mean, I pulled him. He was one of the 3 that I got in that 10 pop, way back at the beginning. He's not even in my Faction War hard team. I have both these guys. I have Froli and FJO Red, and I don't use either of them. It's kind of sad, honestly. Mostly I don't use them because I don't have gear to build them because I have so many HP damage dealers built. I just don't really want to. I don't want them to hold it. Like I just have other guys built that do a better job. So yeah, My man raves. I think this may be the only one he's got, or the other one he's at least pulled, and he's got his best gear on there, and it does well for him in arena and stuff. And I think if you throw your best gear on him, he can do decent damage. He's okay. Yeah, he's nowhere near meta or
Okay.
bringing anything to anyone. He's decent. He's good if you got nothing else.
All right. Fair enough. Zero, anything you want to fill in about this guy?
He's got red hair.
Okay, so
He
he's King.
does, he does.
He's King Coco Melon. Got it.
Yeah.
Ken, anything you want to fill in about him?
I believe he received 2 buff. I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he need a solid buff, man. Like, doesn't matter like how many times they are getting buff, they need a solid buff.
Okay. Jay, anything you want to say good about him?
Well, the second form is pretty decent. He just needs a cleanse on the A2. But because I've actually been 1v4'd by him. He has the highest reflex damage in the game, higher than Embris. So you can actually, if you stack that A1, which increases his defense, he can have over like 13,000 defense, which higher than anybody in the game. So you can literally just not be like almost unkillable unless you have a big ignore defense skill. You can't one-shot him. And so you just eventually one-shot yourself because he can keep healing himself. And then you just die. All your supports, all your nukers they just kill themselves. And then you're just like left alone with one person. And unless you have a reviver, you can't keep looping, right? So I've been killed by the second form multiple times in Live Arena, but the first form sucks. Like, yeah, they buffed him. He does a little bit more, but I'm not scared when I see Froli at all. Never, right? Not even the second form anymore. But it was just, I could definitely see if they just adjust him a little bit, give him a little bit more res and counterattack buffed like what they did to Sir Nick. Man, that second form could be nasty as a res nuker.
Okay. Brojard, Wolfheart. This guy's already got a buff straight out from the from day one. Honestly, I've seen him a couple of times in some PvE content, nothing for PvP. I wouldn't even waste my books on him. Does anyone here disagree? Gestel.
Yeah, again, I had this guy. Don't use him. He's been buffed. I know people use him as a Fire Knight hard mode.
Okay.
Triple hit or something. Or a double hit within a... Yeah, I don't know. A target is not under freeze, repeats the attack. Yeah, so a quad hit on the A1.
Okay.
So that's good, I think, to help open up the shield. I've heard that. Other than that, I don't know anyone using them anywhere else.
Okay. Ken, anything you want to fill in about him?
He also received a buff recently, but again, it's not a good buff. Shout out to Snackbox, actually. He loved to use the Fujarat in the arena. But I'm not sure, like, in the current meta, like, he even use him anymore, to be honest. He was working very well. Not very well. Barely working against the Marius. Like, Surfer and stuff like that. But again, like, I don't know. Definitely need a buff again. And before he receive a solid buff, guys, don't waste your book.
Right. Chat, any of you guys have him, and do you use him anywhere? Jay, anything you want to say about him?
Yeah, he's actually not bad. I mean, he's just not top. Like, people are using him in like, you could use him in a Titus team. You could use him in a lot of PvE teams. Hydra, good for Fire Knight Hard 10. The problem is the second form, you have to have a specific comp with him, right? So you have to, like, if you're using Lady Noelle, you've invested into your Sir Nick Lady Noelle, this is a perfect champion to go with, right? If you have what's his name? Not Yuki Masa. The Yuki, actually it was Yuki Masa. I was right. It's Yuki Masa. If you have Yuki Masa, right, and you invested into like some souls and books, they work together, right? But overall, like, the whole freeze thing, it's not like Lady Noelle and Sir Nick. All this Gallon Pact hate. Back then they were trying to put this like with Vlad and other champions, like in the High Elf champion, what's his name? I'm forgetting names. Yeah, like Alexander the Sharpshooter. Like, this whole like thing where they tried to give us like anti-factions it could have worked maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe when we first started Raid, but like it's not really great thing. Like, yeah, I can be good against a certain champion, maybe in the meta, right? But there's so many different champions that are flying all the time in meta. So why have that specific thing? Why not just keep it natural, where it doesn't have to only do this against Galimpact? So
Right.
overall, I think he's okay. And people probably don't want to use him in Live Arena because he doesn't have a lot of multi hits because of Mercurial. Just give him more AoE. I think that one should be, because he has one AoE, just give this A3 another AoE as well. And I think you would see him a lot more.
Okay. Zero, anything you want to fill in about him?
Yeah, he's got little legs.
Okay. PJ, anything you want to say about him?
Yeah, I don't have him. Again, I agree with what people are saying. He's pretty good into Marius to counter him, but a mythical that is limited by like the packs or the regions, I feel like it's so dumb. No, I don't think any other mythical is limited like that. Um, it's just I feel like a really shitty design for a mythical. I guess I get their like the idea, but I don't know. I don't like it. They should remove the limitations. I think it would help a lot. And yeah, it's just weird to me that they have a mythical that's is like that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely would say he needs a buff, not somebody I would invest in. But let's talk about Shadowkin. And we're going to start off with Toshiro, one of the, I want to say, best boss damages champs that you can get out there. Prior to Hydra being reworked, one of the best nukers for Hydra. Form 1 said, not Form 2. Form 2, I think, should just totally need a rework, but Form 1, I think, is a god tier form. I agree. I love it. Let's start off with Jay, and you got anything you want to say about him?
Of course, insane PvE champion. I think what they should do with the Form 2, because you're probably not going to stay Form 1, you're going to get probably just, you can't even land those debuffs in the meta, right, in Mercurial. But in Form 2, I think you should just have more multi-hitters. He's supposed to be like the sustain champion, because most forms are like, oh, I'm all nuker, or I'm all like support. Just make him, just have a little bit more. It's because it's more AoE, like it's supposed to help out. But just give him like a double 8 attacks on enemy 2 times, something like that. I think would be a little bit better. You know, especially maybe people might actually consider using him in arena. Otherwise, he's just a PvE champion. He does give a lot of heals, the leech, the sustain, and he nukes really hard. And it's hard to kill him in that second form too because of that passive. He's almost a god. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think he does need a little bit of buff in the second form. But other than that, he's a decent PvE mythical.
Right. I do have to agree here with Year 80. The AI is stupid. Why is he switching over to the second form? It's absolutely trash. Guess anything you want to say about Toshiro?
Yeah, pretty much what you had said. He was kind of the best for in a lot of areas. Hydra change kind of nerfed him there. I actually was using him for Chimera a while, but like Ninja's better than him just because you can get more trials and does about the same amount of damage. You know, Toshiro probably does a little bit more. But they both pair up beautifully with our next mythical we're going to talk about.
Yep.
So Ninja unfortunately is just winning out right now. But Toshiro is an absolute monster, like everyone said. Hits crazy hard. The second form probably needs a little work. I like what Jay suggested. Maybe a couple more hits so he could tick off the leech and stuff. That would be nice. I would swap him into the second form against the ram when I was using him, just like a
survive.
If I couldn't, to survive, and if I didn't get a good fear out there, true fear out there,
right?
You know, maybe swap him over to keep him alive. But yeah. Great champ if you got him. You could use him a ton of PvE.
PJ, anything you want to say about him?
Yeah, he's a beast. I have Toshiro. Very strong in the first form, great for PvE. Again, you guys mentioned it. It's just weird, the AI in this game. Why do some mythicals like want to switch and then some mythicals don't switch? But yeah, he loves to switch over as soon as his moves are on cooldown. So, and it's really annoying when he does. So fix that, Polarium. Yeah, definitely needs a buff in the second form. I haven't really seen anyone use his second form. But yeah, I love his first form. Great for PvE. He smacks.
Zero, anything you want to fill in about him?
No, I just think like everybody knows the pairing of Ninja and Lady Mikage because everybody in the game can get that pairing. So I think because he can smack, like he is really good pairing with Mikage. So let's move on to her because she's really awesome.
Ken, anything you want to say about our boy Toshiro?
I mean, I pretty much agree with whatever you guys say. His secondary form is the underwhelming. It's not that good. It doesn't need a buff because of the first form is great, but at the same time, it would be nice. I mean, look at his design, man, on the secondary form, looking
So
badass
much
actually.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
All right, moving on to Lady Mikage. We're getting close here to the end, boys and girls. I'm going to ask you to keep your answers short about Lady Mikage. I'm just going to say if you have books, she's your first mythical. If you pull her, just book her and prioritize Form 1 over Form 2. PJ, what you got to say about her?
Yeah, I think she's amazing. I'm very happy that she's one of the ones we get for free because she works great in PvP and PvE. Control, CC, ally attack. Just anywhere you want to use her, she's great pretty much.
Okay. Zero, anything you want to fill in?
Yeah, she's fantastic. One of my favorite mythicals. Obviously, everybody gets her for free, but yeah, like again, she helps build that blender comp for me. She empowers the ninja and Hydra for me, and then like even in PvP, if you get locked out, you just switch to the other form, and if they're buffed up, she can strip all that and just set up your rest of your team to just nuke them down without their strength and their shields and all that crap. She is absolutely amazing. One of the best.
Okay. Chat, anything you guys want to add on about Lady Mikage? Anything we might be missing here? Gestel, anything you want to say about Lady Mikage?
I just remember everything. You know, she's amazing, great free champ. I just remember back in the day running Shuzen with her, and I would boost into her, and like have them both super fast, and like I would be able to get her to swap,
CC.
cleanse, and then Shuzen would boost right back to her, and then get the stun out. It was a beautiful thing, man. It was a lot of fun to run back in the day.
All right.
So she's a great champ. Obviously, a lot more have come out, so she's not super PvP anymore, but PvE, outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
Okay. Jay, anything you want to fill in about her?
Yeah, she was. I've been using her since day one, and I still love her. Now that everyone's in 9-piece Mercurial, counterattacking, of course, is good, but so is ally attacking. So if you have multi-attackers, think about that. You could, if they are
Fair.
opening up with their fastest champion in 9-piece Mercurial, you can ally attack them and instantly, put the opponent at a 3 to 4. Right? You have 4 and they have 3. So just don't forget about that.
That's fair. Ken, anything you want to say about Lady Mikage?
I mean, she's one of the most powerful PvE champions, especially for the Ninja Toshiro comp. She's in the Shadowkin, her A1 skill, L attack mechanics, stuff like that. She's one of the most powerful champion on the Chimera as well, the Hydra as well. Like very good PvE champion as well. Like her secondary form on the stun ability, I believe is Triton cooldown. That can be very good on the early game, mid game account. Whenever if you get lucky about the fusion epic champion, which is there is guarantee event is coming again, guys. So stay tuned about that. If you guys missing this epic champion, so you guys don't have to worry about the book. You guys can use this ability. Her L attack is also very strong against the Fire Knight.
Yep, 100%.
Hey, quick cut in real fast. Part shadows on her for a relic. I use her in Relentless and Stone Skin, but she should get your first per shadow on the account.
Agreed. All right. The guy that I think and believe needs the biggest and most fastest buff ever, Nias. I can't say good enough things about him. I mean, Form 2, it's all about HP. Bring him as fast as you can. Put a Xavier Servitude on it. I'm gonna put a guide on him really soon because I've been working on a really good build for him. But Gessel, you countered him with Geralt, so I don't think you have the right to complain anymore, man. I definitely think this guy needs a buff.
God, no, I mean, nice. I've had to rework my account to counter this guy because I don't have him and I face him every freaking fight. And he's amazing. He's I mean, I think he's borderline broken. Maybe he's not absolutely broken. There are ways around him. Like I said, I have Garl now, and Garl's got my Death Dealer now, so She can hit through it in the second form on the A1, and that A1 is broken on her because it could just go off. So like you gotta, but I have to pick Predator too as like another way. But really my biggest issue with him is he's just so difficult to kill in that second form. They give him a 2-turn block damage with a counterattack. He also gets a revive, but its passive is insanity. Like if everybody's dead on your team, like it becomes like this like absurdly over beefy monster, and I've got a crazy built predator, and I'll throw that spear and land the maker's mark on him, and he doesn't die. Like he goes half health. So he's just so powerful, man. He is by far the most powerful damage champ in the game, and he's borderline more broken, in my opinion, than Galther. Because I feel like you can once you proc that Galther passive on the first, in his first form, like you can kind of move on from. You can okay, he's gonna probably die, or they're gonna swap, and you just gotta like kill him in that second form. Nice gets in that second form, and you're just like, oh my god, what do I do now? So he is so strong, bro. And if you don't have great counter champs to him, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose to him because he's just gonna take over the fight in that second form.
So many people.
And I didn't even talk about his first form.
Block revive on the first.
So many people in chat right now are like, so many people in chat right now are like, oh, you think you won the fight? Just 1v4 with a Nias.
Exactly. That happens so much. You can watch my streams. You'll see it once a night where I just put my head in my hands because it happens. I died a Nice.
PJ, anything you want to say about Nias?
Yeah, he's extremely strong. Pretty much like a one-man army. Obviously, there are counters to him, but it's like you have to have the counter. Like, yeah, if you have Garrel and Death Dealer, but like that's really hard to get. And then they also pair him with like Chainbreaker. So you try to and Zibius Servitude. So he becomes really tanky when he's weaker, and he gets more stats when they're dead. And then Chainbreaker, you try to CC him, and just remove the CC. So it's like the counters to him, there's counters to the counters, and they use that, and it's like, yeah, you just get kecked. He puts up that block damage, you can't remove it, and he just counterattacks you, brings back everyone else, and yeah, GG's no re.
Yeah. 134.
Ken, anything you want to say about him?
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, he needs a buff, right?
I mean, you guys already mentioned like great point about it. Like, I really hate the Chainbreaker, man. Like, it's almost like 100% procreate. He's a one-man army, man, and there is every like more broken things are making him more broken too. Like ZBA Relic, for example, 9-piece Mercury set. We mentioned that earlier. All of that, he's just insane. He's definitely like top 5 mythical champion. He's a little bit like getting outdated, I feel like. Yes, I know what I'm saying, because like Solanar Bayek, Predator,
Big
man,
raid.
I don't know, man.
Barb
I don't know, you know? They are extremely strong, but yeah.
Okay. Master shout out to our boy Farbstuff here for the raid of 109. Thank you so much. Guys, if you do not know Farbstuff, I mean, where have you been? RSL Helper, come on. We can't play Raid Shadow Legends without this. Like this thing goes down and we're just like, oh my god, why do I gotta do this again? I sometimes feel like I might quit without RSL Helper. So massive shout out to our boy Farbstuff here. Give him some love. Follow him over on Twitch and on YouTube. And show him some support via the RSL Helper and donate something just for being such an awesome guy, for putting that out as a free tool. Zero, anything you want to say about Nias?
Yeah, everything you guys said, because who've used him or whatnot, and I do think those champions that can help counter him. So Gizmac traditionally is really good to help countering him, and the buff to Grawl, to what Gestel said, is really nice too, and of course Predator. Yeah, so you just kind of got to deal with that. I did want him nerfed in the sense that his buff is protected on that A2 and all that when all that happens. And I will say your multi-hitters too. He doesn't scare me that much. Again, I go back to the Hansel and Gretel because it's stupid what all they can counter, but they go in with that Lady Mikage AoE and they just wreck him, and he changes his form and just dies. So when you can pull that off, that's great. But yeah, he's one of the best champs in the game. So if you get him,
Okay.
good luck.
Another
Alright.
thing, bombs was a great way to counter him, but now bombs are ass because of Mercurial.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that was one
Uh,
of my main counters.
Jay, anything you want to say about him?
Cometus, see ya.
Guy was broken before. Have you ever seen a 9-piece Mercurial? And now you got to go through his Mercurial. Then you have to go through his block damage just to kill him. And then he goes to second form and becomes a boss. And you got to kill a boss that can heal itself and revive people. Bro is broken. Gallagher and him need to be nerfed. I have nice, and I still say nerf nice. Okay.
Shut
Oh,
up, Jay.
that's awesome.
Shut
There
up,
we
Jay.
go.
The guy like that on the game.
I like it.
Jay for
Alright,
president.
alright. All right, let's move on to the last two mythicals that we got currently. When this is Nell Blackteeth, phenomenal champion. Mercurial has given her a little bit of a nerf, but prior to that, I mean, she was the anti-speed meta. If you needed help, she was the one that you wanted. She very quickly grew to my most wanted. But again, with Mercurial, and even now, sometimes people are building with a 9-piece Mercurial. But what do you got to say about her, PJ?
Yeah, she's a beast. Definitely Mercurial hurt her a little bit. But I see, like you said, I see people running her now still in 9-piece Mercurial. Still can be strong, but definitely not as good as she used to be. But still a beast. PvP can be used in PvE as well. But Mercurial did hurt her a little bit.
Okay. Ken, is she waifu, especially in this form?
I mean, I don't have any, man. I'll think I take it. I don't know. So, PG's got a good point. Mercury set a little bit hurt her, but people are so building her in the 9-piece Mercurial. And the Mercury set is not forever protection. So when the enemy, you manage to remove their Mercury set, which is you just need to hit them, she's still like very annoying. The problem about her, there's a couple of the things you needed. First of all, Arak Elixir, rare relic. Good thing is it's a rare relic, so should be no problem most of the players. Unfortunately, it's coming from the hard factor mortal, so you guys still need to deal with that level. And the blessing, she need like minimum 3-star, obviously like way better in the 5-star. She's still very strong champion. I personally want her. I have a 6-star blessing waiting on her if I get one day.
Okay. Jay, anything you want to say about her?
A very strong champion that's still strong. Like she hasn't like fallen down. She hasn't got like too OP. But with Mercurial, she is a little bit more annoying because you're like, damn, I gotta go through all this stuff to get to her. And usually that stuff you need to get to her, you're getting killed for it. So that is
Right.
annoying. Overall, yeah, she's not bad. She's not bad. She's not like OP. If they have 6-star like Nell, then you might want to just like instant ban because lethal dose, if you look at the blessing, you start ignoring 35% of your res, and then mythicals can also ignore another 20%. That is crazy. So it is too much. Ignore. And as someone who likes increased res, I get screwed over by Nell. So I have to like ban Nell unless there's a Gallagher there. So yeah, she's still really strong.
Fair. Zero, anything you want to say about Nell?
Yeah, she's my most recent mythical that we just got. And shout out to PJ on this one. He said pair was stocked in arena because stocked will make the poison ticks go through blockable and unkillable. And I actually throw Ezio on that team too. Unfortunately, I only have the 3-star for her, but those poison ticks for me with the 3-star. And of course, your Arachnid Elixir, and I don't even think I have a 15 Arachnid Elixir. It's probably only a 12 Arachnid Elixir. She's hitting for like 23,000 per poison tick.
Damn.
It's absolutely insane. And then of course, she can activate and strip, and stock can activate. It's a nasty combo, and it's really fun to play. Yeah, Mercurial's kind of screws it up a little bit, but it's it's fun.
Okay. Gestel, anything you want to fill in?
Don't have her. I have a 6-star soul like Ken though, so would love to get her. Don't see her as much, I guess. I just don't see her as much recently in Live Arena as I used to, I would say. Probably because of Mercurial, but
Fair.
She unlocked my my 3-star on the boss and being able to actually kill the boss for the faction. So
Nice.
shout out to Nell.
Last but not least, we got Arabias, who was Arbiter 2.0. I mean, everybody wanted her, but has kind of fallen off the meta quite a little bit here. That said, maybe check and let me know, are you using your Arabias? And if so, how do you have her built? PJ, what do you got to say about her?
Yeah, I don't have her. I definitely still would like her. I have a 6-star blessing waiting for her. She maybe fell off a little bit just because, like we mentioned earlier, people are just making their fastest champions the lockout now, versus like speed boosters. But she's still great. Still brings a lot to the table. I would like her. I think she's still a very strong champion, PvP and PvE.
Okay. Zero, anything else you want to fill in about her?
Nope. I mean, I wish I had her, but yeah, she's
She's good. Okay. Gestel?
Yeah, got her first. So I used her tremendous amount back in the day. Loved her in the second form more back then than the first form. But now I think she's all about the first form speed boost, block revive. Getting the petrification is kind of crazy on the passive. So first
Right.
form is really strong right now.
Okay.
So
Ken, anything you want to say about her?
I mean, Gestal is pretty much like mention everything. Like he make his fastest champion. Crixia not her anymore, so I guess there is a reason for that. Yeah, Tormentor field champion kind of outdated now, man. Unfortunately, so
Okay.
she's not bad, but nobody
Nah.
using them anymore. So
Right.
This is also a super like late game, end game perspective as well.
oh, of course,
True.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True. Jay, anything else you want to fill in about her?
Yeah, I think she's a decent champ. I mean, she has an AoE A1 to block active, but the thing about her is that like there's so many boosters in the game. Like there's even free to play ones like Donnie, and you'll probably see Donnie a lot more because people have Leos, they have the turtles. So she's kind of like falling down because everyone was just going who can go first in turn meter boost. And there's a lot more things to do now instead of just that. I think petrification is so strong because you can actually go through protected buffs. So if she had a way to do that, like in this passive, it's only in the second form that she does that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that she needs a buff. I think there's a way to adjust her to make her more viable in PvP. But other than that, she's still good overall.
Okay. Well, that does it for all the mythicals. We reviewed them all. The Argonauts don't have any, but you know, I'm curious to see what Plarium will put out for the Argonauts for mythicals. And chat, I hope that if you're pulling shards, you get the mythicals that you want. Plarium, if you're watching, I really want to buff to Nias, please. He needs something a little bit more. Mercurial counted him too hard. Please, please fix that. That said, let's start with some shout outs. Actually, I'm sorry. Gestel, where can people come and find you?
Oh, Gestel Gaming, on Twitch and on the YouTubes. The YouTubes, I'm going to be starting hitting pretty hard here in the next couple of weeks. So I'd love some subs on there if you want to go over and hit that up. And I stream every Sunday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Awesome. Jay, where can people come and find you?
One name everywhere, Jarstar3.
Awesome. Zero, where can people come and find you?
Zero Brew on the Twitches and the YouTubes. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday evening. And you can find me as a content creator on that website called gestel.gg. It's amazing.
That's right.
I've
We'll be
already
talking
started
about that
uploading
next
some
week.
rosters.
PJ, where can people come and find you?
MXPJE, Twitch and YouTube, stream at least once a day, every weekday. Come say what is up.
Awesome. And Ken, where can people come and find you?
Final Kempachi, Twitch, YouTube, and the Kick. We are streaming every day, guys. At the Columbus Reset Time. Thank you.
Awesome. And Gestel, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm going to shout out now my good friends, longtime watchers, and have been helping me out most recently with the website. My man H2K and my other man Rultar. They've been doing an insane job with the website. Huge shout out to those guys. But what I want to tell you guys is they've actually worked on their own website. And it is this one right here. Riddle.today. It is like Wordle, if you've ever done that.
So good.
But it's all raid
Very fun.
characters. It's so much fun. Just go check it out. It's it basically explains it when you go there. But go check it out. Riddle.today in the link. Huge shout out, H2K, Rultar. Thank you so much, guys. You guys rule. Thank you.
Awesome. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
We're giving a shout out to my mama. Actually, it's her birthday today, so happy birthday to her.
birthday.
She's
Happy
actually going
birthday.
through some, thank you. She's going through some health issues right now, so just some thoughts and prayers out to her. And yeah, happy birthday.
Awesome. Happy birthday to Mama PJ. Zero, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Yeah, I think we need to shout out Farpstuff again. He's the man, the myth, the legend, and without his tool, we would be blind.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
Yes,
can't
sir.
see with our eyes. So Farpstuff, give him some love.
Jay, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
My shout out is going to Gestel this week. Thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity and finally getting the website done, bro. Been waiting for years.
Finally, brother.
Hey, you know, they say those who wait, you know, good things come to those who wait. So we waited and we're finally here, and I'm very happy. Thank you, Gestel.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And Ken, who do you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'm gonna shout out the Big Head Mike. He's also the streamer friend. I'm gonna leave his link over there, guys. Make sure to check him out.
Awesome. And I'm going to give a shout out to our boy Authentic here, who took a while off, came back, and he's back into full force, pushing plat and game content. So we're actually going to raid out to him over on Twitch. Guys, thank you all so much again for hanging out with us for these wonderful 2 hours. You know, again, we'll talk next week a little more about the live arena situation. I'm hoping that Plarium gives us some information a little bit more about what's going to happen as we're getting closer to the next season. You know, time will tell. That said, again, thank you all so much for hanging out. As always, much love, much appreciation.